Hey guys, it's Zach again, and in today's lesson we're going to learn about Magic the Gathering lingo or Magic slang. Here we go. Whether you're playing at home with your friends or you're playing at your local game store, you've probably heard a lot of terms that you're not quite familiar with, and it leaves you with a feeling of, well, confusion. Well, in today's lesson we're going to go over some of the terms that you may have heard. First term we're going to discuss today is called 2-drop. 2-drop is a permanent which can be played without any major strategic consideration, usually used in the context of 2 or 3-drop, referring to the amount of mana used to cast it. 2-drops are essential to most decks because most low-running decks or decks that have low mana costs are going to run a lot of 2-drops. Despite the definition saying of no strategic importance, I have personally found that most 2-drops are of great importance, so choose your creatures and your cards wisely because it'll help you win. Next up is mana curve. Mana curve is the application of mana optimization theory to deck construction. By organizing the cards that they are going into the deck by their casting cost, a player can see how likely he or she is able to optimally utilize each turn's mana. Essentially what this is saying is it's the ability to play on turn. Turn 1 with 1 mana, play a creature or a spell. Turn 2, 2 mana, play a 2-cost creature or spell. Turn 3 with 3 mana, playing a 3-cost creature or spell, etc. Playing on curve with your mana allows you to better optimize your deck, leading to more wins for you. The next topic I want to discuss with you guys is called CMC, or Converted Mana Cost. Converted mana cost is the total amount of mana that it will cost to bring a creature or spell out onto the battlefield. For example, Acredion costs 2 mana. Aegis Angel costs 6. Now let's take the case of Metalworks Colossus. Originally, Metalworks Colossus converted mana cost is 11. You might think that's a lot, but if you look at his card, we can bring him out cheaper. Metalworks Colossus costs X less to cast, where X is the total converted mana cost of non-creature artifacts you control. So if we have Aetherflux Reservoir, Cogworker's Puzzle Knot, and as well as Edifice of Authority out on the battlefield, their total converted mana cost equals 9, meaning 9 minus 11 equals 2 mana. So we can bring out our Metalworks Colossus for only 2 mana. So essentially we just brought out a 10/10 beast for only 2 mana. Pretty crazy, huh? Next term I want to discuss is called mill, my personal favorite. That's putting cards from a player's library directly into his or her graveyard, named after the card Millstone. Most of the good mill cards reside in the black and the blue color scheme. However, every now and then, a crazy card will come out of nowhere with a good mill ability. Mill can be a very fun strategy to use in your deck. However, it can be a very frustrating strategy to play against because essentially it takes all the cards from your library and puts them straight into your grave before you have a chance to even put them in your hand, nullifying any strategy that you may have. Some of the reasons you might want to do this ability are cards like Lord of Extinction, Mortivore, and Consuming Aberration, which thrive off of the number of cards in an opponent's graveyard as well as your own. The next term we're briefly going to discuss is called Broken. Broken is a card that is overly powerful, usually a card that you cannot afford to play without if you are playing in those colors. An example of broken cards are Burning Wish and Emrakul the Promised End. A lot of players complain these cards were broken because of their ability to overturn a game as soon as they come out onto the battlefield. Next one I want to discuss with you guys is called Bounce. Bounce is an effect or spell that returns a permanent to its owner's hand. This is found in a lot of control decks and is found mainly in the blue color scheme. Cards like Avon Augur, Baral's Expertise, and Dromar the Banisher are examples of bounce effects. Bounce is a very popular effect found in most blue control decks because of its ability to control the pace of game by not allowing a player to play creatures or other permanents, or by removing them from the battlefield once they are played. Next term we're going to discuss is called Jank or Janky. A card or a deck that does not appear to be very good. Also, a janky card. An example of a janky card is Jeskai Ascendancy. It's a card that, when you look at it, looks pretty good on the surface, but really actually has no practical purpose in one of your decks. The next term you may already be familiar with is called Board Wipe. Board Wipe is a spell which destroys, exiles, or neutralizes all creatures in play, and a couple famous examples of that are Wrath of God and Jokel Hops. Board Wipes are especially effective against creature token based decks that produce a lot of creatures at an exponential rate. Board Wipes will help you clear the entire board, allowing for you to hit your player. The next term is called net deck or net decking. Any deck copied from the internet or a published tournament listing and changed to deal with the local game meta. What happens is, on the World Magic Cup and the Magic Pro Tours, there will be lists of decks from the pros in the top 8. Most of the time, most players will find these lists online, remove a few cards here or there, and throw in their own twists and use that deck. Net decking is a source of some controversy in the Magic the Gathering community because a lot of players believe that it takes away from the ingenuity and the diversity of the game because more people just tend to copy what a pro player does rather than create their own. Alrighty guys, that'll do it for today's lesson. There are many more terms we can go over, but I would be here all day and I'm sure you would have tuned out by now. So if you like the page, please like and subscribe so I can keep bringing you content. Thanks for the support.